Last week, I sat down and deleted 158 people from my email list. And I did that on purpose. Nobody made me. And here's the part that sounds crazy. My whole list was barely 700 people. And I'm not a big creator trimming fat off 100,000 subscribers. I'm a woman rebuilding her life at 51 years old, and I deleted almost a quarter of the only list that I have. Now, hold on, because this video is not about email. If you've never sent a newsletter in your life, this video is still for you. Maybe especially for you, because the email list is just where I finally saw the pattern. This video is about everything that we keep that stopped keeping us: the rooms, the plans, the people, the old version of ourselves hanging in the closet. And I want to tell you why. Because when I hit that delete button, something happened that I did not expect. I stopped seeing it as losing people, and I started seeing everything else in my life that I've been keeping out of guilt instead of belief. The stock pages, the old plans, the rooms full of people waiting for a woman who doesn't live here anymore. So today's video is about letting go. The email list, yes, but also the page that I'm walking away from, the followers that I'm releasing, and the old versions of me that I've been keeping on life support. And before we're done, I'm going to give you one question, one single question that will tell you exactly what you need to release this season. So stay with me. Here's the belief that I had to break first. I thought growth, it meant adding more subscribers, more followers, more projects, bigger numbers everywhere, all the time. That's what everybody sells us: grow, grow, and grow more. Nobody ever goes viral saying, I quit 3 things this month. There's no dashboard for what you released, no follower count for the weight that you're not carrying anymore. So we all just keep adding and adding and adding. And then we wonder why we are exhausted holding a life that's 90% storage. But listen, for 8 months, those 158 people, they did not open a single one of my emails. Not one. And I was writing to a room full of empty chairs. And I finally had to admit something to myself. Keeping the chairs is not the same as keeping the people. Growth is not just what you add, growth is also what you're willing to release, because nobody teaches us that part. So I want to show you what it looks like in real life, in my real accounts this week. Now, I want to be honest with you about why this took me so long, because it wasn't laziness on my part, because I thought deleting subscribers, it meant that I was shrinking. And I thought walking away from an old page meant that I was admitting failure. And I thought closing a chapter meant that the chapter was wasted, like all that effort, it went into the trash with it. And when you've had to fight for everything that you have, letting go of anything, it feels a little dangerous, because you keep everything, you keep it all: the dead list, the stock page, the old plans, just in case. Because some part of you remember what it was like to have nothing. And that part of you would rather guard empty chairs than risk empty room. And I came from people who kept things. You don't throw away what you might need. You don't waste. And listen, the instinct, it keeps us alive through seasons when there was nothing extra. And I honor it. But an instinct built for surviving, scarcity will quietly sabotage you in a season of building. Because building, it requires choosing, and choosing requires releasing. And the keeper in you calls every release a waste. But this year, I rebuilt my money, I rebuilt my health and my work. I rebuilt everything out loud in public. Over 300 videos in this channel. And this rebuilding season, it keeps teaching me the same lesson from different directions. You cannot carry the new life and the old life at the same time. Your hands are not big enough. Nobody's are. So let me walk you through 3 little things that I'm releasing right now. And then I'll hand you that question that I promised you. The first thing that I released, well, was the empty chairs. 158 people, 8 months, never opened a single one of my emails. Most of them, they signed up years ago for a version of my work that I don't even do anymore. So they were not rejecting me. They just came for a chapter that's over and they already left. So I was the only one still setting a place for them. And here's what keeping them was actually costing me. Every time I wrote an email, I was writing to a number that was partly a lie. My open rate, it looked worse than my real audience deserved. And worse than the math, there was the quiet discouragement of talking to people who never answer. That will wear you down without you ever knowing why. Because that's the thing about dead weight. It never announced itself. It doesn't send you a bill. It just sits there quietly costing you a little energy here, a little confidence there. You look at your numbers and then you feel behind when half the problem is that you're measuring yourself against ghosts. And I can tell you the part that surprised me. After I deleted them, I felt lighter about an email list. I did not expect to feel anything and I felt relief. That's how you know something was heavier than you admitted to yourself. You don't feel the weight of a thing until you put it down. So here's the portable version for you. Look at anything in your life through the 8-month test. 8 months of silence is not a relationship, it's a memory with a login. That goes for email lists. And if I'm honest, it also goes for some group chats and some phone contacts too. You know the ones, right? And if somebody needed to say that sentence to you today, I want you to subscribe because I say the quiet parts out loud here every day. Second thing, I'm releasing the rooms that still describe somebody that I used to be. I have an Instagram page that has been stuck at the same follower count for months. Doesn't matter what I post, stuck. And for the longest time, I took that a little personally. Then I actually read my own bio on that page and I had to laugh. The bio describes a chapter of my life that is completely different. The people find that page for a different Webley. So every time I show up as who I am now, I'm confusing the room. The content isn't failing, it's arriving at the wrong address. Same story on my old Facebook page. Those people followed me years ago for something that I stopped doing a long time ago. They're not bad followers. They're guests for a party that ended. Now, here's a trap that I fell into for months, and I want to save you from it. When a page gets stuck, everybody tells you the same thing: post more, post better, try new hooks, study the algorithm. And I did all of that because trying harder is what women like us know how to do. Trying harder is our home language, but you cannot out effort a mismatch. If the room came for one thing and you're now offering another thing, more effort, it just means confusing them louder. It's like showing up to your old job every day after you quit, working harder and harder, wondering why they stopped paying you. Baby, you don't work there anymore. And here's what I finally understood: a stuck number is not always telling you to try harder. Sometimes a stuck number is telling you that the room is finished. So I'm not going to keep performing for rooms that I've outgrown. I'm building a new home online that matches who I actually am now, where you'll get to see behind the scene of everything that I'm building: the scripts on the table, the recording days, the wins and the tired days, all of it. It's coming soon, and my subscribers will see it first. That's all I'm saying today. The third thing, and this one is one of the deepest: the plans that I was keeping alive out of guilt instead of belief. You know these plans: the project that you started 2 years ago that you'd be embarrassed to officially quit, the commitment that you keep renewing, not because you want it, but because you announce it. And now quitting, it means explaining. The certification that you halfway through for a career that you no longer want. The version of yourself that somebody else is still expecting. So you keep her costume in the closet just in case that she gets invited somewhere. I have kept a lot of costumes. The woman who's going to do it all one way. The plans from before this rebirth. Every one of them kept alive on the same fuel, not belief, obligation. And obligation is expensive. It doesn't just take the time you give it, it takes a little tax on everything else because part of your mind is always in that closet managing the costumes. And here's the question that I promise you, one question. Ask it about anything that you're carrying. Am I keeping this out of guilt or out of belief? Belief sounds like I still want where this is going. Guilt sounds like I already put so much into it. And listen to me carefully because this is the trap that catches smart women. What you already put in is gone either way, it's sunk. The only real question is whether the thing deserves what you're about to put in next. So guilt looks backward, belief looks forward, and you cannot walk forward looking backward. You hit every wall in the house. And when belief has nothing to say, that's your answer. And watch how sneaky guilt is because it never introduces itself as guilt. It dresses up as loyalty, as being a finisher, as finishing strong, as not being a quitter. It quotes your own values back to you, but loyalty is for people, not for plans. A plan is a tool, and you are allowed to put down a tool that stopped working without holding a funeral for it. Now, let me make this practical because I don't want you to just nod at this video. I want you to do it. So here's what I call the release audit. One evening with a nice cup of tea, 3 short lists. List number 1, your digital rooms, the email list, the pages, the accounts, the subscription. Next to each one, write who it's really for. The you of now or the you of before. And I want you to be honest with yourself because the before you doesn't need defending. She needs releasing. List number 2, your commitment. Everything you're currently signed up for, promised to, or paying for, run every single one through the question. Guilt or belief? Don't act yet. Just mark G for guilt or B for belief. Watch how many G's show up. It will humble you. List number 3, your maybe shelf. The projects that are on pause, the ideas that you're saving, the things you'll get to someday. Here's the rule for this list. Someday is not a season. It's not a day on the calendar either. If it doesn't have a when, it's not a plan. It's a weight that is wearing a plan's clothes. Either give it a when or give it a goodbye. In one evening, you got 3 lists. And I promise you the lists are not the hard part. The hard part is believing that you're allowed. So let me be the one to tell you you are allowed. So consider this video your permission slip. All right, let's review everything and we're going to put it in your pocket. 3 releases, 1 audit, and the question that runs all of it. 1, release the empty chairs. 8 months of silence is not a relationship. It's a memory with a login. Number 2, release the rooms that describe who you used to be. A stuck number sometimes means the room is finished. Not that you need to go harder or try harder. Number 3, release the guilt plans and use the question on everything. Am I keeping this out of guilt or out of belief? Number 4, do the research audit. One evening, 3 lists, your digital rooms, your commitments, your maybe shelf, and mark them G for guilt or B for belief. And believe that you're allowed. Now, before you go delete your whole life, let me say the gentle part. Those 158 people mattered when they arrived. That old page did its job. The old chapters built the woman making this video. Letting go is not saying it was worthless. It is saying it's finished. Those are very different sentences. A garden doesn't grow because you keep every plant forever. It grows because somebody loves it enough to prune it. I'm 51 years old now, and I spent this whole year adding things. 300 videos, new skills, new money, new muscle. And I mean that both ways. And I thought that was the whole story of starting over, add until the new life is big enough to live in. But it turns out that the second half of building a new life is subtraction. The adding builds the new rooms. The releasing is how you finally move in because you cannot move into a new life while you're still paying rent on 3 old ones. So this week I deleted 158 people and my list got stronger. I'm retiring rooms and messages got clearer. I'm putting down plans and my hands are free for the first time in years and I'm not shrinking. Now, if this video finds you carrying too much, here's what I want to offer you. And I know how it's going to sound. I just spent this whole video telling you to put things down, and now I come asking you to book something. So let me be clear about what this is. This call is not one more thing to carry. It's 20 minutes to help you put something down. And I'm opening my calendar for a handful of 20 minutes conversations. And I'm not selling you anything on that call. I'm just listening. So you tell me where you are, what you're carrying, what you're trying to build or release. And if you honestly can tell whether something in your life is guilt or belief, that is exactly the kind of thing that we can figure out together in 20 minutes. Because the things that I build next, they should be built around what you actually need. And the only way I get that right is hearing it straight from you. The link is at the top of the description, and spots are limited, so don't sit on it. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Webley. I'm 51 years old, starting over out loud, adding what serves me and releasing what doesn't serve me anymore. So subscribe if you're building a lighter life too. And I want you to tell me in the comments, what is the thing that you're letting go of this season? One thing, name it, because when we call it, we see it, because the thing that you say in public is a promise with witnesses. And I read every single comment, and I will see you here tomorrow.